Welcome to Who Yelling Now, Season 5, Episode 6, titled, We Call This Success. Copyright Mackenzie. Hello, my yellers. Olga here. Question. Who taught us what success looks like? Not happiness, not purpose, not contribution, success. Was it school, family, work, money, social media? Or did society quietly hand us a definition and we accepted it before we were old enough to question it? Because I have noticed something strange. Some people hold entire pieces of society together and remain invisible. Others simply remain visible, and society calls it greatness. Now, before someone gets upset, visibility matters. Communication matters. Presence matters. But lately, I wonder, are we rewarding contribution or interruption? Because I live in a world where some people spend 30 years mastering something and struggle to be heard, while others, not the smartest, not the wisest, not the most talented, simply whoever can gain and sustain attention is considered great. Question. If recognition becomes detached from contribution, wisdom, mastery, or substance, what exactly are we celebrating? Because increasingly, success is no longer asking, what can you do? Success is asking, can you keep me looking at you? Question. If society chooses noise, what happens to wisdom? If society remains performance, what happens to contribution? If society celebrates visibility, what happens to the invisible people holding civilization together? Today's episode is called We Call It Success. And maybe we have been calling the wrong thing successfully. Here is a poem I call Behind the Scene. Years of research reduced to one careless line. Your medicine shall kill humankind. The idiot standing proudly before the microphone could not identify a single human bone. But here I stand behind the scene, too exhausted now to fight, to scream. 20 years asking questions, testing, failing, beginning again. 20 years for humankind. Reduced for someone's laughter, someone's spotlight, someone's opportunity to shine. And somewhere quietly, truth waits, patient, exhausted, still working even after the room stopped listening. My dearest listeners, I understand, we all share different definitions of what we think success is. And that's good. As a society, we should. Here's a story I call, I'm Gonna Stand Up. There was once a city called Meridian. Meridian celebrated success to the point that it launched a campaign called the Public Success Index, where citizens voted, engaged, shared, commented, amplified what they thought success was. This program lets society decide success. People loved it. At first, awards, recognition dinner, top 50 list, most influential, most impactful. People learned quickly. Contributions mattered. Visibility mattered more. People celebrated outcomes, not maintenance. People celebrated arrival, not the people holding the road together. And every year, the same names, the same applause, the same faces, louder, bigger, more. A teacher changed thousands of lives, no recognition. A hospital maintenance worker prevented disaster for 28 years, no recognition. Water operators, sanitation crews, transit mechanics, food inspectors, pest controllers, no recognition. People only notice outcomes, never prevention. Then there was Judy Mercer, a 73-year-old survivor, hands that told stories before her mouth ever opened. She had a scar near her thumb from when she was 19, a bad knee from when she was 38 years old. She came from 3 generations of pest controllers, not exterminators. Her father hated that word. He used to say, "We don't kill nature, we negotiate boundaries." Her grandfather taught her, then her father taught her. Now it's Judy's turn to pass on the knowledge of how to manage ticks, rats, mosquito population, drain systems, entry points, inspection routes, disease prevention. People thought Judy removed pests. Judy knew differently. Judy prevented panic, prevented contamination, prevented outbreaks, prevented emergencies no one would ever know almost happened. Which meant if Judy succeeds, nothing happens. No applause, no headlines, no recognition dinners. Only a city quietly functioning. And for years, that was enough. Then something changed. Young people stopped coming to the workshop for mentoring. No new hires for pest control in over 5 years. Elders were retiring because it was clear that recognition was elsewhere. Visibility was elsewhere. No young person wanted midnight inspections. No young person wanted to be on their bellies in crawl spaces. No young person wanted to learn sewer maps. No young person or even middle-aged person wanted to waste 6 hours tracking rodent patterns behind commercial buildings. Invisible work, invisible people, invisible expertise. Judy used to train dozens. Most of them have left the profession. Now only one apprentice remains. Miguel, he is 24 years old, patient, good eyes, quiet. But even Miguel started asking questions. Questions Judy never heard before. Questions her father never had to answer. Miss Judy, does this work have a future? That question haunted her. Then winter arrived. Rat complaints increased. In schools, retirement facilities, commercial districts, homes. Budget cuts delayed maintenance. People complained online, not in person anymore. So nobody connected the dots. Nobody noticed except Judy. Because Judy understood something terrifying. Civilizations rarely collapse dramatically. Most collapse quietly, under maintenance delayed, knowledge retired, expertise disappearing, invisible systems weakening. One crack, then another, until suddenly everybody asked, how did this happen? So now, here was Judy, sitting patiently in a folded chair in the emergency town hall meeting. The mayor stood during the meeting, confident, important, microphone polished in hand, charts prepared. He said, many would like to blame us for the current pest situation. However, you all championed what was important. The market naturally rewards importance. Something inside Judy broke. Or perhaps something exhausted finally stood. 73 years old, last of her family, one apprentice remaining, time running out, city growing louder, systems growing older, knowledge disappearing. So Judy stood, hands shaking, voice steady, and she said, who fixes your life while you're busy watching other people perform theirs? Silence followed her words, real silence. Then Judy said, you celebrate the visible, but you survive because of the invisible. People shifted in their chairs. Then Judy said, my family spent 3 generations making sure rats never became your problem. My apprentice may be the last. You do not reward invisible success. And one day, you may discover exactly what invisible success was holding back. Silence, then grumbling, Then somebody screamed, "Just do your damn job." Judy smiled, turned around and looked at that person, and she said, "I submit my resignation." No applause, no outrage, just silent recognition. For the first time, the room was filled with knowledge. Sometimes discomfort of this magnitude means truth finally entered the room. Meridian understood. If recognition becomes detached from contribution, wisdom, mastery, or substance, what exactly are we celebrating? My loyal, dearest listeners, here is a poem I call Borrowed Success. Extraordinary, ordinarily ordinary. Speaking in tongues, though I have yet to master a single language out of hundreds. Yet, somehow, I captivate ordinary minds extraordinarily. Why? Because I sold them borrowed success. I convinced them they were unseen, that they would remain unseen, that ordinary meant invisible, that value required permission, recognition, applause, a stage. Why? Because they are like me. Or at least I convinced them they were like me. So let me be loud, ignorant, boastful, certain, confident beyond knowledge. I shall perform importance on their behalf. And through my fame, they shall feel recognized. Through my spotlight, they shall feel illuminated. Through my noise, they shall mistake proximity for belonging. Until one day, they blink and see I ordinarily am nothing like them. I was never carrying weight, never holding foundations, never keeping systems alive. I was borrowing their extraordinary lives to gain recognition for myself. So, my fellow yellers, I leave you with questions. Who taught you what success looks like? Who around you quietly holds your life together? Who contributes without recognition? And perhaps the hardest question, have we confused visibility with value? Because contribution matters, communication matters, visibility matters. But maybe success was never supposed to belong only to the loudest person in the room. Maybe success was always supposed to honor the people carrying the weight. This is Who Yelling Now? And maybe we should spend less time asking who got attention and more time asking who held civilization together quietly enough that nobody noticed. See you in the next episode.